Long are the days since we first met. Once close like iron and flame, I brought you items picked fresh from a digital vine. I was a fool to think it could last. What we had was too perfect. Like a dream, dreams end. You vanished, disappeared, disposed. How could I be so loved and used just once?
During Valentine's Day, I was thinking about love, but the girls I attracted to thinks up all above. I have a brave heart to control my weakness. All the ladies want from me to show them sweetness. It's hard to find relationships and see out in person. Women are not ready for relationships to put words in. I wrote and mailed Valentine's cards to the friends I like. If the girl wants to go out with me, I ride my bike. Love's become stronger than any other mankind. If the guy takes my woman, I'll tell him it's mine. I saw a troubled woman and came over to hug her. She told me what happened to her cover up in my fur. This beautiful woman found me attractive inside and out. She says I'm a nice and smart person, is what I'm about. If we start a new relationship without falling apart, I want this nice woman to become my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about. I know I felt shy to ask a woman on a date. I better ask her out quick before it's too late. She already has a man, which got me in a terrible mood. I felt heartbroken when I eat my favorite food. Ladies are not interested in me because of the way I look. As I have terrible feelings, I wrote them in my notebook. Try to close my eyes to think of which woman is right. The one to pick the wrong type, I pick the one who's bright. I want to find the right sweetheart to be in my life. I want her to treat me right and be my future wife. Treat me like a king and I'll treat you like a queen. Sweetheart, you know I don't do anything to become very mean. Moving into my city, Seattle will be the thing to think. This woman said I see her wearing her sexy outfit in pink. Praying is the most important that I have to do right now. Relationship with God is what I want to first, like, wow. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about. It takes time when the right woman comes to me. Make sure she's not taking that she tell you she's free. Dating with the wrong men is always the wrong choice. They give you a bad attitude to change the tone of your voice. I feel my heart beating inside of my brave chest. My Seattle lady sweetheart knows that I'm the best. Blue and red roses is what my lady wants me to give. I got her a private gift that she needs me to live. The thing I love about Valentine's Day is the way I feel. Wonderful thoughts I have as love becomes a battlefield. Baby, are you sure you want to go out alone that night? You have to let me be with you so I can hold you tight. Never let anything happen to her as long as she's safe. If the paper wrap tore off, I'll cover it with tape. I'm the honest latest man to give a woman her flowers. My Seattle sweetheart and I will join the heart-ridden shower. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about. Be my Seattle sweetheart. Be my Valentine date. Many hearts come together around our time. You're my trusted heart that I really care about.
transforming rock and roll into hop and roll. Snacks the Bunny bounced into the scene and quickly rose to the top, becoming one of music's biggest and furriest icons. But how did this bunny become the legend we all know and love today? This is Snacks Behind the Music.
Growing up the oldest of 42, I guess I just developed an ear for music. Well, two of them actually. My father was a factory worker. Cheesecake factory. He'd wake up every day at the crack of noon to sling cheesecakes to customers just so he could come home and provide day-old cheesecakes to us. When I was 8 years old, my mother was diagnosed with RBF, resting bitch face. She looked just like a female dog when she slept. But she was an inventor. She mostly made variations on the lazy Susan, the irresponsible Kathy, the unmotivated Sharon, the waste of space Tracy. We would sing songs while she worked, and I guess that's where I got my start.
Snacks was awarded a full scholarship to attend the prestigious Angora Academy for Exceptional Rodentia.
I would say that Snacks was my best student, but that wouldn't be accurate. I think I learned a lot more from Snacks than Snacks learned from me. It was the honor of a lifetime.
But you dropped out, or hopped out.
Yeah, man, I just wasn't interested in, doing homework and stuff. I just wanted to play music. So I dropped out, packed my car, moved to LA, and never looked back.
LA is where all the young and hungry talent was, and there was nobody younger or hungrier than Snacks.
I just knew. I wanted it.
In 1987, Snacks broke onto the scene with the debut pop album, Hot Cross Buns. But the response was underwhelming.
So Hot Cross Buns didn't perform as well as you hoped. What was the temperature like back then?
Brutal. 96 on a cold day, I almost shaved off all my fur. I tried to do some open mics and even some closed ones. You really had to know someone. I couldn't get an audition at Chuck E. Cheese. I couldn't even get my foot in the door. That was for the elites. I mean, it was a real rodents club back then.
You gotta understand, this was the 80s, and the industry darlings were the Chipmunks.
No one could touch them.
When Snacks started having tensions with Alvin, things just became more and more public, I guess that was kind of the beginning of the end.
Snacks poked the bear, or in this case the chipmunk. But Alvin was a big player back then. The chipmunks were so powerful they buried Snacks.
It was over.
You will never work in this town again, you fucking... Wow. Haven't heard that in a while.
What did you do after you got that message?
That's when I did STB.
Snacks the Bunny, now STB, reemerged in the early 90s with a new image and a totally different sound.
No one talks about the STB era of Snacks' career, and I think it's criminally underappreciated.
Okay, check out this Snacks beat. It gets sampled in songs today all the time. I'm like, that kick is freaking bouncing. It sounds like an 808, but let me isolate it. All right, that's that 808 kick. There's something else though. Check this out. That's Snacks hopping, layered over the drum machine. Snacks hopping. That is why Snacks is a genius.
That was so good. I mean, it was just like...
a mastery of craft. It was the emojis before emojis of texting. It was amazing. Golden era of Snacks' career. And 14 Karat Love.
That's a classic.
14 Karat Love. 14 Karat Love.
I love that song.
14 Karat Love.
Snacks' unique vocal style also caught the ear of British alt-rock frontman Morrissey of the band The Smiths.
It's been an incredible success story for the Smiths, especially over the last year. I mean, just from becoming a cult band, you're now huge, you're topping every poll there is practically in all the music press. Are you astonished by it or delighted?
I think delighted because we expected it. We had very strong ideals and very high hopes.
Yeah, we did.
And we couldn't really consider failure, which a lot of people think is arrogance, but it's not. We were just very sure of what we wanted to do.
And it was that record that catapulted Snacks into fame in a new genre.
Okay, well, ever since you emerged and handed me that bullet, I can't seem to keep you from my mind, and I don't mind. Now I don't mind. In the meantime, there's a mountain to hold on to further on. The tiny lights out in time, like fireflies. Oh, what a sight. I think I might stay here a while and talk with you. If you don't mind. Don't mind, we could share that bullet, talk right through it, pretend that we're just friends, and I won't mind. Now I won't mind. For right now, I won't mind. You're the kind of bullet I don't mind.
transforming rock and roll into hop and roll. Snacks the Bunny bounced into the scene and quickly rose to the top, becoming one of music's biggest and furriest icons. But how did this bunny become the legend we all know and love today? This is Snacks Behind the Music.
We had very strong ideals and very high hopes.
Yeah, we did.
And we couldn't really consider failure, which a lot of people think is arrogance, but it's not. We were just very sure of what we wanted to do.
And it was that record that catapulted Snacks into fame in a new genre, alternative music. And Snacks was finally ready to leave LA and find a new place to call home in the Pacific Northwest, the city of Seattle.
Seattle was definitely the epicenter of the alternative music scene in the 90s. We had bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and Screaming Trees and Soundgarden and Mudhoney and Junk Bucket and Crumb Nugget and Schlonk and Daisy Triage, the Hula Hoos, Market Casket, just to name a few, but nobody put on a show like Snacks.
We used to go to the Crocodile and see Snacks like hanging from the rafters and shit. It was wild.
It was like some swinging from the scaffolding type shit, like
magic.
You didn't know why you were there, but you knew you needed to be there.
There's not many times when you witness music history right in front of you, but this was one of those times.
I went to 147 snack shows.
We would throw marshmallows. It was wild.
I once saw Snacks perform with nothing but a gong, man. It was mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it.
It was incredible.
And Snacks rose to the top of the Billboard charts with the powerful hit song, Hanger Strike.
I just might steal a croissant from this Parisian restaurant. Yeah. 'Cause I cannot be reasonable when my tummy starts to grumble.
It was around this time that Snacks' music started containing more political messages.
Talking about social issues and, things that people could relate to.
Something inside of me wanted to get a message across. That if you're not hangry, you're not paying attention. I'm getting hangry. Getting hangry. I'm getting hangry.
I played Hanger Strike on my show, and I remember the phone lines lighting up with requests. It was kind of on fire at that time. Everybody wanted to hear that song.
I mean, I even used to starve myself just so I could feel hangry along with it.
Bunny fever had struck the nation. Snacks started to hobnob with the Hollywood elite, even appearing in the gritty feature film, Fast Friends, Slow Enemies.
What do you drive?
A hard bargain.
But like many rock and roll success stories, the success proved too much to bear for this hair, and Snacks fell prey to addiction.
I started experimenting. I was staying out all night, partying. And when you're that famous, it's hard to know who your real friends are, and I just fell in with a bad crowd. It was all around me. Before I knew it, I had developed a full-blown addiction to chocohol. I was a chocoholic.
It's hard for me to talk about. Snacks' chocoholism, that was a dark period. That's all I want to say about that.
There was always chocolate on the rider. It had to be there, or Snacks would refuse to perform.
It was a back booth at the Cha-Cha Easter weekend. I was like, yo, what's up, Snacks? And all I got were those cold black eyes. jelly beans scattered all over the table, fur caked brown. It was awful. I turned and left. You know, I looked up to Snacks. I worship Snacks. And that's when I realized Snacks is just a bunny, like every bunny.
Snacks suddenly started talking in a British accent and being quite belligerent.
Snacks the Bunny's violent streak continues, lashing out at Teddy Roosevelt. Ouch.
What do you have to say about that period in your life?
That I'm not perfect. That I put my shoes on one toe at a time just like everybody else. And that I deserve a second chance.
Rising from the ashes of that dark time, Snacks spoke out and took the opportunity to spread the word about bunny depression.
It's an issue that no one talks about, and it's a real sense of hopelessness.
It was inspiring to hear an artist like Snacks talk so frankly about mental health through overcoming chocolism. It inspired me to heal my own relationship with workahol.
Snacks' late career reinvention has been perhaps the most prolific period of this artist's life.
Bunny Soul started trending big time in hip-hop.
All the rappers. All of Drake, Kanye, Luda, Jay-Z.
Everybody who's anybody wanted to get Snacks on their tracks.
School spirit, mother.
Like the Energizer Bunny, Snacks just keeps going and going, with no plans to stop anytime soon.
What's your secret?
My lucky rabbit's feet. I never leave home without them.
Thank you for watching Makeshift TV. If you would like to continue to support local arts and music, please take a moment, like and subscribe to our YouTube page. It's great.